I'm Eric Russell. I am out and about today with Matt Beyer, this
Hello.
fantastically handsome and great entertainer here in the Richmond area. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. Now, you've got a brand new cabaret show coming up within the next couple days.
I do. Well, it's about a week.
About
a week from yesterday.
Okay.
Well, of course, we don't know when this is airing. So
Sometime, whenever I put this up, sometime this week between now and the time it gets up there. The joys of live, posted later.
Okay.
But some people may not know how you got into musical theater and cabaret shows and stuff, so give folks a brief history of Matt Beyer.
Sure. Well, rewind all the way back to when I was a kid. I was in theater ever since I was a child. I think the first show I ever did was Oliver. I was one of Fagin's Thieves. Boys choir, district chorus, regional chorus, show choir. Got out of school. I taught at a dance studio, and I did a lot of community theater. And then there came an audition for King's Dominion in 1990. Well, it was 89 was the actual audition. So I came down here originally in 90 and did the 90 and 91 season of King's Dominion. It was in Live at the Palace and Dancing in the City. Then after that, eventually I stayed in town, and then I toured for Theater 4 on tour doing children's theater off and on for about 5 years or so. And then I got into doing cruise ships. I did that again for about 4 or 5 years. Then I kind of bounced back into Richmond, And while I was on one of the ships, I had a show written for me there that was my first cabaret. This was back in 1998. Okay. And that show was called Pure Imagination, which was the name of the last show that I did here in Richmond. Now that show was about, the first act of that show was pretty much the original show in its entirety, maybe a little bit shorter. And then I extended it to make it 2 acts. And after finishing that show, the reaction from it was that the second act, people liked the first act, but it was more theatrical. Right. But the second act was all 70s, Barry Manilow medley, Candyman, all that kind of stuff, and people went nuts for it. And so I thought, that's what I'll do for my next show. I'll just do 70s. So I came up with the title, of course, Yesterday Once More, which is perfect. The lyrics are perfect for what the show is about, and for exactly how I feel about music and about everything.
Because the 70s, for most of us, is when we came along. You couldn't turn on the TV without coming across a show that had a great opening theme song. You had, the Brady Bunch, then there's Maude, and of course, I lived for the Saturday morning stuff, like H.R. Puffin stuff. All those Superstar stuff. You had these great shows with great songs, which, you could sing when you were done. And so they kind of, you create these great memories, and you could sing along with it.
Yeah.
Did you have favorite shows from the 70s? What were your favorite ones that you liked to sing?
And there is a TV theme section in my show, just to let you know, as far as a segue into that. One of my favorites, as far as theme songs, I always loved the theme to Alice, which was just a great song. I mean, it was sung by a woman, but it was still a great song, and she was a singer, Linda Lavin, and she still does theater and musical theater to this day. As far as the kids' shows, gosh, there were so many wonderful ones. I mean, from Josie and the Pussycats to Electra Woman and Dinah Girl. I was singing to my friend Susan Sanford, who many of you may know, the other day, the theme for Dr. Shrinker. She had no idea what it was. Dr. Shrinker, he's a man with an evil mind. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, so that was the cool thing as far as when I started putting the show together, when I started looking at the TV themes. I got so excited about that in particular because there are a lot of great songs. The songs were well written and they were full songs. I had 4 or 5 of them on 45, as did a lot of people. And it was a really, really cool thing.
And then, but 70s music also was fantastic. You had great ballads, you had so much to pull from.
Yeah.
What song can we expect to hear?
I don't want to give
not spoilers, but
well, it's called Yesterday Once More, so I guess we'll hear maybe some Yesterday Once More, maybe a little Carpenters. Due to popular demand, I'm bringing a little Barry back into the show because one of the things after the last show, everybody was just that Manilow medley. Oh, that Manilow medley.
That Manilow medley.
So I'm like, okay, we'll give you some more Manilow. And I'm doing some a whole bunch of 70s Broadway show tunes. So and it's so funny. I was just at my music director, Leilani Giles. I was at her house today, and she had the folio book of A Chorus Line.
Oh,
and yes,
nice.
I have a chorus line. But that was, to me, that was the real Broadway. That stuff. It was the beginning, the 70s stuff of Broadway. It was just such a different time, and so many of the shows were just so much more real, and they were about real people and about their problems and about life, and so was the music. So was the music of the decade.
Yeah, because that was a big show. In fact, I was fortunate to see it when it closed. I had seen the movie,
right.
But then when it closed, I was just graduating from high school, and I got to see it, and sit there and just watch this great show that I knew the music from,
right.
just from growing up, and you knew, Tits and Ass,
mm-hmm.
At the Ballet, just all these great songs. What I Did for Love,
yeah,
and I think my favorite line from one of the songs is, I can feel the breeze, I'm the tree. It's like, there we go, yeah, we've all sat through that. What are you, I'm the tree.
And I felt nothing. Yeah.
But that was like, you were at the beginning of some really fantastic Broadway shows. You started to get real people's stories, which opened up for so many other great stories. Like, I feel like Rent and Avenue Q, and just really telling people's stories.
Yeah. Yeah, and music had a simplicity to it. But it wasn't, not that it was anything watered down, but it just had more of it was just a little more attainable and more, it was a little easier to recreate if you wanted to perform it, because you did so many things in, chorus that was on the radio or on Broadway, and it was easy to recreate, and it was just great stuff, really good stuff.
For this project, why was the 70s, like this whole Yesterday Once More, very important to you? Do this cabaret?
Well, like I said initially, it was inspired by the fact that people just really. When I came out, I was just so pleased. I mean, I was happy with the success of the show and how much people loved the show. But the thing that was really important to me and that really, really spoke to me is that I just made so many people so happy. There was such a positive, wonderful energy, and and it gets me choked up just thinking about it. That's what I want to do. I want to continue to make people happy. The other thing is, when I put shows together, when I put a cabaret together, I actually don't really even look at it in a cabaret format. Mm-hmm. I look at it, I'm inspired by the 70s TV shows, the 70s variety shows. You've got an opening number, and I've got an opening number. I'm very proud of it. It's good. It's not just a song, it's a number. But yeah, you've got your opening number. You remember how Cher would start out with the camera being close, and I like that format too. This is not to give really much away. This is the second show in a row where I'm starting out where you've got my vocals, like a slow part of my vocals, and then it kicks into the song, and whereas in the show it's a close up of Cher, and then it pulls away and she throws off whatever she's got wrapped around her. She's got the stress on. So yeah.
So very simple, because the 70s variety shows were brilliant. You had The Muppet Show, Sonny and Cher, Captain Teal. I loved The Gong Show. It was just fun to watch. We'll get there and just go, bong. That was before American Idol, just in case you're not sure.
Yeah.
The Gong Show. Americans kind of had talent. Spin a play.
We should preface it that only a certain age should be watching this video because they're not going to understand anything that we're talking about.
That's right. It's a history lesson as well.
Yes. I give a little bit of that in the show too.
The more you know. After this cabaret, what do you want to do?
I want to do more. I want to continue to do more of these things, but I also want to do some more shows with more people.
Okay.
I don't want to just do myself, although I will do more. And I'm loving the way people are tuning into what it is that I'm doing, because so many people knew that I'm doing a 70s show.
Right.
So I'm out and about.
Right.
I'm out and about, and a song comes on, and like, is this in your show? You got to put this in your show.
Right.
So I could practically do an entire show by the songs that I'm not putting in the show that people said that I could put in the show. So that's a wonderful thing, that people are really tuning into what it is that I'm doing, and I want to continue to do that, because in putting the show together, yes, I want to do songs that I can sing the crap out of and kick butt with. But the most important thing is I want to really make people happy and warm their hearts.
With them to leave and like, with great memories from
Yeah.
the songs that they've heard, and then but be able to reconnect and share that with somebody else in an audience.
And I think people our age especially are really craving that kind of thing because there's nothing like that on television anymore. There's no variety shows. There's you've just got all the reality stuff, and it was just such a people want to.
And a good theme song. I'm missing a great theme song from a show. Like
oh my God,
sing.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore. But yes, and like I said, I would like to do some, and I've been talking with a few different people. I would like to do some shows with a cast of 6 or 8 people.
Do a little variety show.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
If people want to find out more about Matt Beyer, do you have the Twitter, the Facebook, the Tumblr? How can they follow you?
Just Facebook. You can find me on Facebook at Matt. I'm just listed as Matt Beyer. Usually there's a picture of me singing or a headshot kind of. It's a little easier to find than some. But if you want to see my last show, Pure Imagination, the entire show is on YouTube. So you just look up Matt Beyer, and it's spelled Beyer. Matt Beyer, Pure Imagination. And I think it's pretty close to the top of the wall.
Very cool.
When you bring that up.
And it's great we can now share things like that. We have the ability to share our work with it.
That was a wonderful thing because after I put that up, it's already been viewed 420 times, which just blows my mind. After I put that up, it was so cool. I was getting texts and phone calls and Facebook messages from people that I grew up with and people that just oh my God, I watched your show, Matt. It's just that's an amazing thing too. That these people from my home, I'm from Pennsylvania, small town in Pennsylvania.
How small? What town?
Montgomery.
I know where that is.
You do know where that is?
I'm from Butler, and my aunt and uncle live in Portersville.
To this day, we don't even have a red light.
They don't either. It's Pennsylvania.
But the Amish live down the road.
Oh, there you go. There's an Amish joke in there somewhere, but I'm just kind of missing about a horse and a buggy and turning left.
We'll let it go.
We'll let it go. Your show runs at Richmond Triangle Players June 16th and 17th.
Which is a Monday and Tuesday, which is good for a lot, especially if you're an actor and you're in theater.
That's right.
Unless you're teching shows, which a couple shows are teching, so they're not able to make it. But
it's fun that those of us who aren't in show or are in a show can see something on a Monday, Tuesday night and be able to share that, which is fantastic.
Yeah, then grab your ticket. I haven't actually looked recently how they're selling, but the last show, I think it's typical of cabaret shows and shows that aren't regular shows, they sell at the last minute. Mm-hmm. And my first show didn't sell completely out, but my second show we had to turn a lot of people away. So I'd hate to have to do that because they were some good friends.
Early.
Yeah.
Tickets are available at rtriangle.org. The show is June 16th and 17th at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
And will the bar be open?
The bar will be open.
There we go.
The show is also sponsored by Baker's Crust and Trader Enterprises. Now, with Baker's Crust sponsoring it, we're going to have some munchies. We'll have some brownies and cookies and chips beforehand. Okay. And some giveaways during the show as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
See, it's a full-service thing. Cookies, cocktails, an amazing performer and entertainer.
Maybe even some Tang.
Ooh, oh God, Tang. It went to the moon. 70s. Look it up. Google it, Tang.
It still exists.
Does it?
I think it still exists.
No,
I'm not positive.
I'm going to go look for that tomorrow when I go grocery shopping. I want Tang. That and Sanka. Well, I'm Herrick Russell. I've been out and about with the extremely talented Matt Beyer as we get ready for his amazing show, Yesterday Once More. You never know where I'll turn up next, so tune in next time. See ya.